Hi, I'm Jeanne Fiorini. Thanks for being here at the Tarot Tips. Today we're going to talk about the personality cards. We've discussed them in previous videos. I had a request to talk about how to deal with it when more than one personality or when several personality cards come up in a reading. I've said before that I find that the personality cards can be the most difficult aspect of the tarot to really get a handle on because they can mean so many things. They can be actual people, they can be aspects of ourselves, they can be other people, they can be an aspect that we're very comfortable with, or it might be something that we need to learn how to integrate. Being more assertive, being more practical, being more talkative, whatever suit, talkative, swords, practical, pentacles, assertive, wands, whatever the card indicates. Something that can help you here is, and it's, across the board, always a good thing, to phrase your question carefully. So, for instance, if I say, what can help me better access success with my relationship, and we get the Knight of Swords, then the Knight of Swords is going to say something like, well, you need to speak your mind a little more. You need to have more conversations. It would help your relationship to be more forthcoming about what's going on in your head. Let's say you ask, what might be preventing me from success with my business? And you get, let's say, the Knight of Pentacles, that's a little tricky because you then have to look at how could the Knight of Pentacles be a hindrance, especially around business, since we might associate business with pentacles. That I just popped off my head, now I have to think about it. But I would say maybe what's lacking there? Maybe a little bit of pizzazz, maybe too much regularity, too much what's expected, too much kind of by the book, or kind of what the usual form is, or maybe something I've already done before, like I'm in maybe a little bit of a rut with the Knight of Pentacles. So, if I ask the hindrance, it's always nice to pull the helper. So if I might be hindered in the success of my business with being, let's say, too average or too kind of in my lane, we might get a card of creativity. We might get a card of put more inspiration into your work, put more maybe of your heart into your work. So use the question to help you define what aspect of that card might help you. And remember that the personality cards are also tricky because they don't point to situations. They point to attitudes and they point to ways of moving through the world. So, it isn't like looking at maybe the Three of Pentacles, which might say build a foundation or get yourself going, get yourself on the first level of what you want to accomplish. That's a pretty specific goal. But if you get a personality card, then you have to sort of switch how you're thinking about it. You have to say, okay, so a personality card came up, so that's telling me here's my best approach, here's my best attitude, here's my the aspect of myself either to learn about or to pull out of my hat so that I can move forward. So with that said, I thought we would I took the 16 personality cards and took them out of the deck, and I think we'll just do 3-card little, see, it's not going to divide evenly, so the last one's going to have to be a 4-card reading. But each one of these quick little off-the-cuff readings is going to be all personality cards. So we'll see what we get, and just as an example about what do I do if when I lay the cards out I'm looking at a whole bunch of these court cards, what do I do? So let's go to the tarot table. So we're going to pretend, let's say that we're just doing a reading with the personality cards. I'm going to do 4 3-card layouts, and then the last one will have 4 cards so that we can use all the personality cards. So I've shuffled them up. I haven't laid them out ahead of time. Let's just see what we get. Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles reversed, King of Wands reversed. Okay, so here's a really good example of, for me at least, the personality cards among all the cards in the tarot are the ones that feel most important when they come up reversed, because they definitely point in a different direction depending on which way they come up on the table. So I'm going to read this with that in mind. So we start with this Page of Wands. So let's say in the past I've had an idea. We're just going to quickly go through these. You know, these are random scenarios, so there isn't any great truth to find. We're just using these as examples about how to think about what to do when personality cards come up in a reading. Okay, so Page of Wands. I got excited about something. I had an inspiration about something. And this Knight of Pentacles, now present situation, is aiming right toward that. So it really feels different than that. So we're going to read it like this. And I am putting work into trying to manifest, trying to give form, Pentacle, Earth element, to this idea that I have, to this inspiration that I have. What might be ahead for me? And again, makes a difference that it's reversed. If it's like this, this guy's looking in this direction. Reversed, this says to me, okay, I had this inspiration. I have been putting effort into manifesting that and what that might look like. And I'm getting ready to put that out there in the world. I'm getting ready to launch that. So, you know, we could talk another several minutes about that, but we won't. Let's just see what else we get. Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, in this instance, we see the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, the two knights that are moving very quickly in the cards, kind of facing off. Here's the communicator, the guy with a lot of ideas. And here we see the initiator, the Knight of Wands, the an actor, let's say. He likes to just run with an idea. So this feels very combustible in here. This feels very much like there's a lot of energy in there. I've got a lot of ideas. I get really excited. I'm spending a lot of time thinking about the possibilities here. And then the Queen of Pentacles calms this whole thing down. She says, okay, hang on a minute. It's nice to have all this enthusiasm, but what are you going to do about it? The Queen of Pentacles is going to look at those two knights and say, okay, you guys, that's a fun exercise in possibilities. What are you going to make of it? How can you manifest something? What do you need to follow through on in the mechanics of things if you want this new creative idea to have any form in the physical world? So in this case, you know, I might say, here's maybe where the person finds themselves. This might be an external person who can help with this. If this person has trouble getting out of that, they might need somebody from the outside to come in and say, I like the ideas, here's what you need to do. The person themselves may have this available to them personally, but if they don't, then, you know, this is something that's shown, okay, recent, past, present, and future, something that can help give form to all this enthusiasm. So in that case, that queen could be the person, or it could be somebody in the outer world. Okay, Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, King of Swords. This is a very determined, nice cadence, if you want to say here, of Knight of Cups. I'm going to follow my heart. There's something I really want, and I'm going to go after it. The Page of Pentacles. I am going to get serious about it. I'm going to do something about what my heart wants. I am going to set up a plan. Again, because these are kind of youthful and just starting out, these might be other people who can help with that, but they also might be ways that the person says, okay, not only do I have a plan, I'm going to be very serious and businesslike about this, and I'm going to do it by the rules. So we see a really nice unfoldment there of moving from something that's very nonlinear, if you want to say, in the emotional realm. I really want a new house. I really want a new job. Whatever it is I really want, and not in a greedy way, but in a heartfelt way. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to manifest, and I'm not going to compromise. And I'm going to follow the rules. And if I need help in these two realms, I know where to get it. Oh, actually, I pulled 4 there, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, I've got 6 cards left. That was interesting. That was unconscious that I did that, but that's all right, because here come the queens. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, Page of Cups. Queen of Cups reversed. So we have this dynamic Queen of Wands right here in the middle, very confident, surrounded by these very emotional cup cards. This one back here, which is she's emotional, but she's fierce. And she's looking almost at this queen like, please help me express my emotional ferocity. Queen of Wands, I'm going to say, says, yes, great, we can manage that. The Page of Cups comes in and gets a little shaky about that, says, oh boy, I'm not really sure. This might feel like a new thing. This might feel like I'm exposing myself in some way. This queen isn't worried about that. So, different aspects of oneself may be at odds there a little bit. We have a water and a fire queen. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. Queen of Cups says, well, this is really important to me. I don't want to mess it up. And the Page of Cups comes in and says, let's think about this a little more before we jump in the deep end. Okay, here's the last 3 personality cards. Queen of Swords, King of Cups, Page of Swords. Interesting combination here at the end. Similarly to the flanking that we saw in the previous example, here you have this emotional king, which doesn't like change and doesn't like to let go of things, surrounded by these swords, which are going to bring new conversations to the forefront. This actually is a combination we see quite often between breaking codependent patterns. The king doesn't like to change codependent patterns. The queen says, I have had enough of this baloney. So here's this strong queen with a lot of ideas, and she's looking at the past. Here's this king that says, I'm attached to certain things, and I don't totally want to upset the apple cart. So we soften that queen a little bit with this page, and we say, well, I'm not going to bonk people over the head with things, but I am going to start dropping some sound bites. I am going to start speaking my mind a little more, letting people know where I'm at in my head. My emotions are one thing, my head is a different thing. So just some key ideas there. When you're working with your personality cards, pay attention to the element. Are they coming from the world of ideas, from the emotional realm, from the realm of the will, or from the practical area? Which suit are they identified with? What level of confidence do they have? Are they kings and queens, or are they experimenting like a knight, or do they have a little fragility like a page? Pay attention to the reverse, because as we've seen, it really makes a difference what direction they're facing, who they're facing, or what they're facing in terms of other cards. And let your intuition, as always, be your guide. I hope that's helpful. We'll see you next time.